An official shall declare the ball dead and the down ended when a runner is contacted by an opponent and touches the ground with any part of his body other than his hands or feet. The ball is dead the instant the runner touches the ground. Runner touching the ground with his hands or feet while in the grasp of an opponent may continue to advance, or note, if after contact by an opponent, any part of the runner's leg above the ankle or any part of his arm above the wrist touches the ground, the runner is down. Seems pretty black and white to me, doesn't it?
Always blaming those refs, hey man. When are you gonna lose a game and it be your fault?
Oh, okay. You're
Find a new
gonna
angle.
you're gonna go that way. It's a little different when you don't have the refs in your back pocket that can't officiate a stupid little rugby play, isn't it? This game's a game of inches, unless you're the Detroit Lions. Then it's a game of like 3 feet and anything goes.
You're 8-6, buddy.
Yeah, don't you worry about that. Why the fuck are you wearing sunglasses inside?
Well, buddy, the world looks a whole lot brighter these days. I will tell you why. The Eagles win. The Dallas Cowboys lose. Everything just you look good, buddy. You're looking handsome. You're looking healthy. How are things?
Yeah, why are you sucking up right now?
I can see why you're so bitter, because unlike my team, Detroit did not win this week. What's this rule you're going on about?
I think you know damn well. We're talking about the Colby Parkinson touchdown. That shouldn't have been a touchdown.
Was he down?
Yet,
You want to explain it to the fans? Was he down?
well, he was down.
Okay.
DJ Reed, pretty sure it was DJ Reed, chasing him down, makes the unbelievable catch. I'm not going to take anything away from him. But literally, knee plants, holding the ball straight up in the air, defender all over him, goes upstairs, and yet still allowed to be a touchdown. Now, I'm not going to pretend that they probably wouldn't have scored on that drive anyways, but we could have at least delayed the inevitable.
Are you almost like, but this way, if you don't delay the inevitable, you get the ball back faster. So isn't that actually kind of better?
No, that's still 7 points. What if we held them to a field
What
goal?
if you held them to a field goal? That's true. Yeah, I guess there's always that.
Right? I'm not going to say it's all on the refs.
Yeah.
Highly competitive game, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But
8-6.
Bravonians, you have to
40%
agree with
chance
me.
of the playoffs now.
This is horseshit. It feels like Detroit's just not allowed to have anything. And not just Detroit. There's a few other teams that are in the mix for this too. But man,
Hold on. Detroit's not allowed to have anything. You were 15-2 last year, and you were the number one seed in the NFC.
yeah, we
Yeah.
were beating the hell up. Still had to fight the refs every game. We just could overcome it last year. And our schedule was a hell of a lot easier than it was this year. The other teams don't need any help. The Rams don't need any help. They're the best team in football. I don't know.
I hear you. I hear you, buddy.
That rule seems pretty black and white to me.
I hear you.
And they made that seem pretty multicolored, if you ask me.
You're going to be a little bit, this episode's going to be a little bit bitter. This one's going to taste a little bit different there, Bravo.
Bitter, whiny. I don't know. I'm a little pissed off.
Calvo's a little bit put out this week, whereas I am feeling fucking fantastic. The Eagles, 9-5. Dallas loses, so either we win or they lose another game. It's all over. Basically, it's all over at this point. We're not going to lose both to Washington, who has decided to feature Mariota for the rest of the year. So I think we got the NFC East wrapped, buddy.
You can shut your happy mouth. That's what you can do.
Feels
All right. Well,
good.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't feel good, Bradley.
All right, buddy.
What do you want to talk about this week?
Yeah. First of all, he's Calvo. I'm Brooksee. Welcome back. Another episode of the NFLA. We are your favorite American football loving Canadians, and we're back with another week. It's the week 15 recap coming up. We got week 16 on tap. I always love these last couple weeks of the season. It's my favorite fucking part of the year. Every year you get into mid-December and like teams are jockeying for position, teams are clinching playoff spots. It's the most exciting time of the year. I fucking love it right now. So we're in it,
that's
buddy.
why I get so emotional about it, because it's like, man, every week
Yeah.
there's so much at stake, and one loss can knock you out of
Yeah.
everything. And when it's, not called fairly, stuff's taken away from you.
Yeah.
Kind of makes you a little salty.
Every call or non-call has so much more magnitude over a 17-game season than over like an 82-game season in hockey, right? So,
right. This is supposed to be a joyous time of year, not when you're a football fan.
no. Stressful for sure, but the Eagles fans got a little bit of stress off them, at least for one more week. So, but
sorry,
man, this
family. Calvo's about to ruin Christmas this year.
Everybody's getting fucking cold this year.
Well, the Lions play on Christmas, and that could be
Oh,
disastrous.
yeah, that could be bad. Oof, you got to win out basically at this point.
Oh yeah, no
Yeah,
question about it.
yeah. But the injuries this week, buddy. This week was wild. There were some upsets, but the injuries. Patrick Mahomes, holy shit. Patrick Mahomes and Micah Parsons, both tore their ACLs, both out for the year, probably most of next year. Holy
Hmm.
shit. We almost
Those
thought
are
we lost Puka Nacua at one point to the same thing, but he came back.
right.
Oh,
And then Devontae Adams came up lame running,
with his hamstring.
non-contact as
Yeah.
well. Um, Countless others too in this week, and it just seemed like they just kept piling up, like you said. And the Micah Parsons one's a little less severe than Mahomes, but still two big losses. I mean, we'll talk about the Chiefs in a little bit and what that means for the rest of their season, but the big part for Mahomes is now he's missing like 3/4 of next year too.
Yeah.
So that's a major loss for the Chiefs.
End of a dynasty. Like I feel like if missing the playoffs this year wasn't already basically spelling the end of the dynasty, losing Mahomes to this injury for the rest of the year and most of next year certainly does. Agree?
Yes and no. I mean, I think it takes a serious blow to it. I think they've still achieved quite a lot. And I mean, I think there's going to be some turning of the tides here. Like Kelsey, I would assume, is pretty close to done. They've got some other aging vets
Yeah.
on there that they're probably going to ship out. But I would say that,
I
even the
think
Patriots had a couple down years in there too. And I don't think anybody really knocked on the legacy of their dynasty, right? But I would say what I do agree with is that their dominant run might be over, and I think some other teams are coming through, but I think the dynasty is still fairly intact.
yeah, I think Travis Kelce's getting a little bit too old. I think that's becoming very apparent. I think that he's not really providing the value for what you're paying for him right now.
Yeah.
At least anymore. Like I think next year, if he still wanted to play another or maybe 1 or 2 more years, if he wanted to come back on something a lot more team friendly, I think they'd probably have him back, but they might have to part ways.
Well, I think, over the last couple of years, we've noticed how slow he's becoming and
Yeah.
not really the impact player that he was, but he would still make these big time catches. And this year, I feel like they're few and far between. He's dropped a lot more.
Oh my God, yeah.
Seems at a sink, like ran into Worthy in the first game of the year,
Yeah.
like knocked him out for a couple games. So it's just one of these things. It's just obviously there's some other things going on in his life that are going to take away from his football, but this is also sports, right? You get so used to seeing a team dominate for so long and all of a sudden they just fall off. And it's like, okay, well, does this ruin their whole legacy? Well, no, it doesn't. But they did a lot of great things in those ten years of excellence, I guess.
Oh, for sure. I think that, there is a lot going on in his life at this point. And like mentally, is he even 100% there anymore? Because I think in a year where your fiance drops a song about your fucking manhood, I mean, there's a lot of distractions in his life right now, Connor.
You
Like
think they would do the opposite though?
maybe, I don't know. Maybe he's just having a hard time living up to it in his own mind.
Can't compensate for it.
It's high praise to heap on someone, right? It's
I guess.
you
Yeah.
gotta
I wouldn't
keep that
know.
ego up. Yeah, exactly. We would know. Yeah. We have to
Uh,
imagine. We have to imagine.
right. One could only assume.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
yes, no doubt there was some major impact players that went down this week. And when it's this close to the end of the year, playoffs are at stake, deep runs are at stake. You
Oh
never
yeah.
want to see any injuries. But in the same breath, I kind of feel like that Bill Hader character from Sunlight or Saturday Night Live, where he's like, "Oh, that's terrible," and just smiling away.
Exactly.
Like,
Like you never wish for it to happen, but when it happens, it's like
right.
you have a hard time feeling bad. Yeah. And like
And I,
especially Micah Parsons for you, right? With Green Bay.
right.
Like that shoves a huge wrench into their plans and their, ambitions for this year, right? So
And I think I'd feel a little bit more compassionate if the Lions just weren't decimated with injuries for the last 2 years either, and be like,
yeah.
yeah, I feel bad for you, but I don't, because I've just had to watch it constantly for 2 years.
Oh man. Within like a few minutes of each other too. They were both in that later afternoon window. That was crazy.
Right.
I think anyway, yeah.
Sure. Well, while we're on the talk of the big injuries that have happened,
Hmm.
Mike Evans is one of these guys that got pounded this year with injuries, comes back Thursday night football against the Falcons. Everyone's jacked for him to be there. They said, oh, he's going to play limited snaps. This dude played the whole freaking game. I think twice he went into the blue tent. There was one play he went up for the ball and just got leveled in the middle of the air, and we're just like, oh God, he's dead again. But right back up,
Yeah.
right back at it. And dude, that Thursday night football game was a bit of a slobber knocker,
That was
back
a
and forth.
that was a fun game to watch. Kyle Pitts, fantasy league winner. Like this guy, I'm so glad I have him on two of my teams. 40 something points. Holy shit, Kyle Pitts, go off.
The
And
fact
start
that
a
you even
fantasy playoffs.
justified starting him that week was like, okay, either your team's really terrible or you're just like, I got nobody else. I got to.
No, you know what? It was either him or Devontae Smith, and I figured the Eagles' offense had been really dry lately, and I didn't like the chances of Devontae Smith doing much, so I put him in my flex actually.
Oh, fair
So
enough.
yeah,
Fair enough.
I'll
Yeah.
fucking take it. And that,
Coming
yeah,
out party finally for Kyle Pitts.
exactly.
Finally realized he has a left and a right foot, not two left feet. But yeah, he got it done. And man, you never know what Falcons team you're going to get each week, right? And
Right.
but I think we were so hyped up about the Buccaneers at the start of the year and how good they were and how great Baker was playing and pushed for MVP.
Oh yeah.
This team has been garbage for like the last 4 or 5 weeks and can't find a way to win a game.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know if because it can't really be injuries affecting all of that, right? These guys are starting to come
Oh no,
back now.
they're getting healthy. They
Yeah.
might have some of the scariest wide receivers in the league. Like,
So what is it? Is just defense not executing?
well, yeah, I mean they were up 14 points in the fourth quarter and lost.
I feel like we all constantly, every single year, these are the types of games we see between these teams in this same division. And every fucking year, the winner of this division is going to be 9-8. Look at these two teams. They're just,
Yeah,
uh,
exactly.
Buccaneers are now tied with Carolina, who we'll talk about in a bit. But yeah,
Yeah.
like here we are back again. The Buccaneers looked so good at the start of the year, and here they are again, back down to 500.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Kirk Cousins because dude's playing like a man possessed over the last couple of weeks, putting up a
Mm,
ton of yardage,
yeah,
threw for 3 touchdowns, handled the ball well, didn't throw any interceptions. I think he completed like 30 of his 40 something passes that he had.
yeah.
And like, what are they going to do next year? Because they're obviously riding with Michael Penix. He's just hurt. Is Kirk actually playing himself into a contract somewhere else or a landing spot somewhere else?
So is Kirk under contract next year, or is
I
he
thought
free
they
agent?
signed him for 3 years,
So that's a fucking trade chip right there.
right? 1 year left on a deal.
How much are you going to get for Kirk if you can show out over the next 3 weeks here?
Probably a fifth rounder,
It's more than you had before.
right? It'll be interesting to see. But there's no doubt he's playing some good football after, I think he's had a healing period now after his Achilles injury. So he's starting to be a little bit more mobile. I mean, he's never really the most mobile quarterback to begin with, but
No.
definitely didn't look like he was hobbling around like he did last year, and he's making smart decisions. So keeping the Falcons very minuscule chances alive.
Well, and they're eliminated now officially, so they
True.
really were playing for nothing. But yeah, because the way the tiebreakers will work out, they still got to Tampa and Carolina still have to play each other 2 times, so it doesn't matter who wins there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's gonna
You're right.
yeah. So
You're right.
so yeah, they're done now, but they can fucking play spoiler. You know they're gonna want to and show it like that. Kyle Pitts, 166 yards, 3 touchdowns. Just crazy. There was that really controversial one at the end to win it. Remember there,
Mm-hmm.
or to set them up for the
Set
winning
them
field
up.
goal,
Yeah.
obviously. But
Yeah.
his ass cheek and his elbow come down at the pretty much the exact same time, and they had to replay it. Well, we saw it like 40,000 times,
Right.
trying to figure out if
Uh,
his butt was down before his elbow. Yeah, but it counted. This is fucking wicked. This is great. Great to see out of the Atlanta. It's just too bad that they have this potential all year long, and it's just too bad they wait till they're out of playoff contention to fucking bust it out.
right. Well, like we talked about, that Tampa Bay offense is pretty scary. They got weapons everywhere, but I feel like they're like that buddy that spits a mad game but just can't finish.
But yeah, yeah.
Like that's just Tampa Bay Buccaneers this year. After such a hot start, now they're
Yeah,
7-7.
yeah. Still,
Unbelievable.
odds are going to hang on to that division, but they're not looking strong doing it. So,
Right. Well, a team that is looking strong and it annoys the hell out of me is the Chicago Bears.
yeah.
How do these losers keep winning? Stop it.
And not even just winning,
I know.
dominating.
I know. This is the second week in a row, though, that this Browns defense has gotten absolutely dominated.
Yeah.
And we haven't really seen that all year. And it's always been the offense that kind of sputtered along, right? And the defense keeping them in games. But now the offense can't do shit. and their defense can't do anything either. So are they tanking for a better pick right now, or what's going on?
I mean, why wouldn't you? Right? Like you have nothing to gain from winning football games right now. I think that's probably why. Not to say Dylan Gabriel's better, but maybe manages the offense a little bit better than Shedeur right now, and I think that maybe is why Shedeur is playing.
Well,
I
let's
don't
be real.
I don't accuse him of
Shadura's
anything, but
had like 6% of the first team snaps compared to the 94 for Dylan Gabriel, right? And
yeah,
I think the only reason they're playing Shadur right now is to see if they can trade one of them in the offseason. Because they still have Deshaun Watson under contract. He's coming back. There's no way they don't play him once he's healthy.
right.
And so what are you going to do? You can't have these three guys sitting on
Probably
the bench all the
I
time,
can
right?
see them
So
just cutting ties with Deshaun Watson, actually more than
good,
anything.
but it costs you a lot of money.
Sure would. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, the Browns are shit. And the Bears are surprisingly good. They move back into first place in the NFC North, buddy. They are the number 2 seed in the NFC right now. That is weird to see.
It's very weird to see
Yeah.
after being the laughing stock of the division
10
and
and
pretty
4.
much the NFC for a while.
Yeah.
It's the Bears defense, man. 17 points off of takeaways. And that's always going to be a lot of the difference in games. If your
Yeah.
defense can get takeaways, put you in good field position, you should win the game.
I believe the Sugar Bears still lead the entire NFL this year in turnover differential.
I'm
So
pretty sure they do.
huge reason why they're the 2 seed in the NFC this year.
Right. Well, I think the only thing really worth talking about the Browns right now is just the impact that Miles Garrett is having on
Yeah.
some of these games, and he's still chasing the all-time season sack record, which is 25. And man, he continued that streak, and he's moving just a little bit closer.
Is it?
And he's going to get that easily.
You have to figure. I mean, he's a fucking beast. And what's your schedule like the rest of the way?
That I don't know.
I got it right here actually. Hold on. Week 16, they've got the Bills. Josh Allen's O-line can be leaky at times. Week 17, they got the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers is pretty slow as fuck, so I think Miles could get to him. And then week 18, they've got the Bengals. So yeah,
Oh, guaranteed.
put up like 6 that game alone. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Joe Burrow's going to die in week 18.
he might if they decide to even play him at this point.
Sure.
What's the point? They lost. They got shut out this week, but yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, while we're on that, why don't we
While
talk
we're
about
on
that
that,
game?
let's fucking get into it. Yeah, they got shut out this week. The Ravens, 24-0. They go to 7-7, keeping their chances at the division alive. Still a game back at Pittsburgh, but yeah, the fucking offense looked okay. Finally, Lamar Jackson, a couple touchdown passes, and really the story, I guess, was the defense shutting them completely out, which the Ravens are not good at doing this year.
No, well, yeah,
No.
definitely not this year.
No.
There's been quite a few years of scary defenses there, but is this like the first time Burrow's been shut out? Like, that's pitiful.
I think so.
If you have that quarterback, that wide receiver, and the other weapons on offense that they did. Now, no T. Higgins in this game, ruled out with concussion, but 0 points for what's supposed to be the strong suit of your team.
Yeah.
Man, I wanted to put them as my dumpster fire again this week. It would have gave me great pleasure.
I don't know if Joe Burrow is the if this is the first time he's been shut out as a Bengal, but I do know that this is the first time I've started him in fantasy and had negative points from him in my fucking lineup.
Gross.
That's what you want in the playoffs.
Right? Like, I guess the biggest takeaway from this then is that the Bengals are terrible.
Yep.
And the Ravens still have a shot at the division and making the playoffs. So huge game.
Ravens still have to play the Steelers again this year too in the last couple weeks here. So
yep. I think it's the last week, isn't it?
It might be week 18, yeah.
Whew.
While most playoff teams are resting their starters that week, that'll be to decide the division there. So whew.
Can we talk about how awesome week 18 is though? And I know we'll talk about it once we get there, but when all the games start at 1 p.m.
Yeah.
And there's no like resting guys because you're in or out. Like, I love it. That's the way it should be.
Every game finishes at the same time, so you know who's getting into what playoff spots in real time. Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, another team that's pushing hard for the playoffs right now and even has a chance of their division still. The Houston Texans. What a tale of like two teams this season, right?
What a wild year they've had.
Start off super slow.
Yeah.
Now they're just pounding everybody. 40-20, they beat the Cardinals. Now, again, not that impressive. The Cardinals aren't that great. Although Jacoby Brissett's been playing pretty decent for them. Him and Trey McBride look awesome. And let's not even forget Michael Wilson. This guy's been going off since Jacoby Brissett has taken over at quarterback. So,
Well, and
man,
really, since Marvin Harrison Jr. has been sidelined with his injury,
yeah,
he had an appendectomy, I believe, and he's been out. He missed a couple weeks and he came back and he wasn't very effective, so he's been off again. And yeah, Michael Wilson just taking over at number one like nothing.
crazy.
Yeah,
That's how these guys get paid.
totally.
Like
That's how
honestly,
he's going to earn
they're
himself a
not
nice little
even
contract elsewhere. Yeah.
other than the wins aren't really there. Like they're not really missing Kyler or Marvin Harrison. Like the team's still rolling offensively. They just can't stop anybody defensively.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. But dude, the connection is there though with Stroud and Nico Collins.
And we knew it would be. Like it was just really a matter of time. Like these two, they've shown flashes of brilliance connecting previously. So they're finally starting to get it going and getting it going at the right time. Obviously, this is when you want to get fucking hot, right? Just in time for playoffs to start in a couple weeks. So
Right. Well, Nico had a huge day.
yeah,
Touchdown on his first catch of the game. And with that big day, 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons for Nico Collins.
consistent as hell.
Yeah,
Probably one of the
seems
better
like
receivers in the league, and he stays healthy, man.
absolutely. And even when he
Well,
is a little
nowadays
banged
anyway.
up, he's right back out there, right?
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Yeah.
man, just think of this team though. They get Tank Dell back next year. You
Yeah.
got Jaden Higgins, Christian Kirk's terrible. Who cares? He sucks now. But then you had Nico in there, and then Jalen Knowles progressively getting a little better each week too.
Woody Marks has been a fucking revelation for
Woody
them.
Marks, I know. I wish they
You
didn't trade that guy away, but
you got to wonder what's even happening with Joe Mixon though. Like, is he coming back this year or ever? Like, but it
right.
doesn't really matter because if he does come back, just add to the complement of that offense, right?
They were so hush hush about him all year. Like they
Hmm.
made it seem like it was like kind of no big deal, and all of a sudden there was like no timeline for his return. Like you have to wonder what's actually going
Yeah,
on there.
something was
But
up there. It seemed really fishy the way he stayed off with very little update of his health, right? So,
yeah, you know what's fishy to me? How this fucking Jaguars team just keeps winning.
buddy, they are 10-4. They are the 3 seed in the AFC right now. 97% chance to win or to make the playoffs.
Where did Trevor Lawrence come from? 6 touchdowns,
He,
6.
like, is he the QB1 over the last month and a half in the entire
Definitely
league?
pretty close after getting Jacoby Myers. That guy's just been fucking lighting it up for him,
Good Lord, man. And now he's working well with Brian Thomas Jr. again.
right?
These guys are just blowing the doors off teams right now. And who wants to run into the Jaguars? Because they play some pretty mean defense too. So,
I don't think this has anything to do with the scheme that's being put in place. I think it's straight up just a lack of talent on this Jets team.
yep.
Which, you know, even if you look over the last couple of years, their defense was pretty good. Their offense just sucked. And now some of the defense just disappeared, and lo and behold, the offense still sucks.
The Jets are just a team that's just stuck in perpetual mediocrity for years and years and years. I don't know what the issue is there. They can't find the right GM, obviously, to construct that team properly, but it's been
Ownership.
stuck in hell for so long, right? So
It's the ownership.
could be.
One team
Anyway.
that probably felt like they were stuck in hell for so long was the LA Chargers. Always the little bro to the Chiefs, at least over the last decade.
Yeah,
Well, they got their shining moment, buddy.
sure they did.
And the rest of the NFL fan base rejoices.
And thanks them for it. Thank you, Chargers,
Ecstatic.
for knocking out the fucking Chiefs. The Chiefs fall to 6-8. They are unable to make the playoffs, and it's so sweet.
It's unbelievable. And obviously, we talked about it off the top. Mahomes suffers a torn ACL.
Yeah.
Obviously, could have been the difference in this game. They were driving. It happened late. Poor Gardner Minshew comes in. The hype is real. He's moving the chains.
That's a tough spot to get thrust into, though.
And
To
then
fill
the poor
Patrick
guy,
Mahomes' shoes. Oh,
then the poor guy throws a pick to end
yeah.
the Chiefs season, proverbially.
No, literally.
True.
I
love it.
Yeah, it's great. Chargers 10-4, buddy. They are the top wild card spot in the AFC right now, hanging on to that 5 seed and 93% chance at making the playoffs now after that. But yeah, questions around the Chiefs 6-8, missing the playoffs. They lose Mahomes for the rest of this year, most of next year. Yeah, I mean, we've already kind of talked about that off the top, but it's exciting to see the Chargers and the Broncos up there now. And obviously, the Broncos look like they're going to probably win that division, but the Chargers still have a shot. They're for sure going to make the playoffs.
Mhm.
It's wild the flip that we've seen in this division this year. It's nice.
It is nice. And
Love it.
I think when we were both predicting our division winners at the start of the year, neither of us took the Chiefs.
I think you took the Broncos. I took the Chargers. Yeah. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Looking like geniuses, pal.
Looking like geniuses. Hey, you know what? We get
But
them
I
right.
think
We get them
the
right.
big difference, like last year and the year before, like we saw the Chiefs winning these games that they had no business winning.
Yeah. And they're just not
This
on
year, the
there.
coin just didn't. They look like Donald Trump flipping the coin. Slanted on one side, didn't even
Fucking
flip.
pancake tossing it up. Yeah.
One way to
Yeah.
rig it, I guess.
Yeah. And that's exactly it. Like, just the bounces aren't going their way. And rightly so. Like they shouldn't fucking be going their way that often. So it's nice to
Right,
see a little bit of parity, a little bit of fucking justice in this league now. Yeah.
right. Well, it just goes to show you that things don't take that long to turn around sometimes. Because if we look at the Patriots this year, last year, what, they get like 3 wins? Now they might only lose 3 games all year. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy. Um,
It's a wild, wild switch in one year.
right. And just to see the growth in some of these players, all it shows is that all you have to do is draft just half decently, build from the trenches out, and then hopefully you can sign 1 or 2 guys in the offseason that are going to move the needle just slightly for you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, unfortunately for the Patriots, they didn't have enough to get it done against the Bills this week. Great game. Patriots are blowing them out in the first half, even into the third quarter.
Yeah.
And then Josh Allen was just like, you know what? I'm a super freak. Don't worry about it. I got this.
And he got super freaky on the
He sure
Patriots.
did.
Yeah, man, like this, Patriots come in 11-2, second seed in the AFC, and they've already beaten Buffalo in Buffalo this year. So they're coming in thinking, we just got to hold serve at home in our frigid, Foxborough fucking territory here. Should be fine. Bills come in with different ideas, right? So the
Mhm.
Bills 10-4, Patriots 11-3. They're a game apart now, buddy. They've split their matches this year. They're a game apart in the standings. This one's going to come down to the wire. The Bills might still win this division.
It's true. Patriots fans are going to be white knuckling it for the rest of the year here. But
Yeah.
man, you can never count the Bills out, and you have to think that they might be just that extra little bit motivated to know that Chiefs are officially knocked out. They're not going to run into Joe Burrow and the Bengals.
Yeah.
And there's a chance that Lamar and the Ravens may not make it either. This Bill seems like, holy shit, never seen this before. And yet they'll probably still find a way to go first round.
Guaranteed. Yeah. Guaranteed.
Come on, Bills.
But the wild thing about the Bills is 10-4. At 10-4, they still have a greater than 99% chance of making the playoffs, whereas the Chargers are also 10-4, a higher seed right now, and only have a 93% chance to make the playoffs. So I guess
Preposterous.
yeah, that's it. Oh, I wanted to say I saw something today and I just had to laugh. It was fucking hilarious. Someone, I guess obviously a Chiefs fan, had posted a meme where it said something along the lines of whoever wins the Super Bowl this year, there's an asterisk beside them because they didn't have to go through Mahomes and the Chiefs to get there. You got to fucking make the playoffs for that to even be a thing. Like that's
Right.
such a terrible take. Like your team's not even good enough to be in the playoffs and give that right back to another team to make them go through it. Like
Tell me you've only watched football over the last 10 years without only watching 20.
that's it, exactly. Yeah. I mean,
Come
credit
on.
to the Chiefs. They had a 10-year run of making the playoffs every single year. Hell of a dynasty, 9 straight division championships, a few Super Bowls in there. All the credit to them. But if just accept the fact that you can miss the playoffs too, like
Mhm.
you don't have to make it every year. None
Not
of this,
today, Satan.
no one needs an asterisk. No one has to go through you every single year. Like make the playoffs and then you could say that.
Right?
Idiots. Anyway, moving on.
Dude. Well, 2 teams that are probably going to be in the playoffs as well. Packers versus the Broncos.
Yeah, buddy.
And
Guaranteed the Broncos. Well, they punched their ticket.
last week, your buddy Calvo went 0-2 on his locks and dogs.
He did.
This week, Calvo 2-0.
Yeah, you made them both, buddy.
Switch it up. Broncos were my dogs of the week.
It's a solid dog pick.
Finally did my Lions a favor, and the Lions shit the bed, but the Broncos beat the Packers 34-26. Now, another major injury that happened in this game was Christian Watson.
Yeah.
He went down, and I mean, he's been banged up over the last 2, 3 years too,
This
and
was
that guy can
ugly
never
too.
stay
Did
healthy.
you
And
see this one when it happened?
I tried to avoid watching it,
Oh,
to be honest. I
the way
saw it.
he laid out and came down on his arm, which then locked, and then on his shoulder. Oh my God.
Ugh,
Ugh. Gruesome.
hate it.
Yeah, it was
But
ugly.
man, what wasn't ugly was that performance by Bo Nix.
Damn right.
Did you say career day?
Well, he's had a few days like this this year and definitely last year when they kind of went on the run towards the end. But yeah, this one's up there for sure. This was a wild day. Over 300 yards, four touchdowns, zero interceptions. So obviously took care of the ball as well. And
Mm-hmm.
against a Packers team, that's hard to do against a Packers team, right?
For
So
sure.
obviously losing Micah Parsons partway through the game makes things a little bit easier on your O line. But
Yep.
still, they still have a pretty fearsome pass rush, even without Micah Parsons. And it's not like he wasn't there for part of the game anyway. So, yeah, hell of a day for Bo and that Broncos offense.
All right. Well, they're one of the first teams to clinch a playoff spot, right? And
They are the one seed in the AFC, and they have locked up a playoff spot officially at 12-2.
if you're winning 11 straight, you have to think that they're one of the real threats in the AFC, especially if that defense can keep rolling. So crazy game. Go ponies.
Well, and until a couple of weeks ago, I wouldn't have said that they were a real favorite because I felt like they were just kind of like the Chiefs from last year on the right side of a lot of very close decisions and tight games and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But over the last 2, 3 weeks, they've been really just kind of asserting their dominance on both sides of the ball. They've looked really good. So I think I'm probably confident calling them a contender now. And obviously 12-2 is no fluke. So
Right. Well, and I think too, like the only real reason that they even had a chance to win those games is because of their defense, right? So
Mhm.
we've talked about it endlessly. Yeah, some ugly, ugly wins in there, but hey, they got it done.
Sure did. And the Packers, they fall to 9-4-1. So they slip out of the NFC North lead and drop to seventh in the NFC, hanging onto that final wild card spot right now. So
Well, it's pretty crazy to think that if you're in that NFC West and you're the Seahawks, and you're cruising like you are,
God.
you face off against another potent team in the
Hmm.
Indianapolis Colts, which obviously their playoff hopes and dreams took a bit of a beating over the last couple of weeks. But Seahawks went 18-16, have one of the best records in football.
11 and
And
3.
there's a good chance that they're going to be a wild card team.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And like I said, there's so many teams in the NFC that are battling that have some similar records, and yet some of these guys have like exponentially higher chances of making the playoffs than the
It's
others.
crazy.
It is crazy. And Sam Darnold, man, he just keeps proving people wrong. Like, you think, okay, goes to the Seahawks, arguably a worse situation than what he had in Minnesota, and all this guy do is keep winning. It's
No
insane.
one,
What's going on with Sam
no
Darnold?
one, no one saw coming what he did with Minnesota. And, there were obviously a lot of people that were like, okay, this guy is good in the right situation. But going into Seattle, you were like, is he going to replicate? He almost kind of felt like he was in just the perfect situation in Minnesota and take him out of there and plunk him into another offense the next year. Is it gonna work? Well, it's fucking working, man. And he's good. Like he's good. And
Mm-hmm.
Jackson Smith Najigba, what do you want to say? He's the best receiver in the league this year. Makes your job a hell of a lot fucking easier as a quarterback for Sammy Darnold when you
Right?
got a receiver like that you can throw to. They got, tight ends out the wazoo that they can throw to. Barner's fantastic. You can throw it to Charbonnet on passing downs. He's a great dual purpose running back. Like they've got weapons, dude.
Well, dude, as formidable as Darnold and Jigba have been all year, they weren't even the biggest storyline in this game.
No.
Got old man Rivers dusting off the couch to come and help a desperate Colts team, and brought a
44
little
years old.
juice
Yeah, he did.
for 44 years old, man. 120 yards and a touchdown in his first start in 5 years. Pretty impressive.
First touchdown in 5 years to throw it to Josh Downs, and yeah, he had I mean, 120 yards isn't much, but he had a little bit of zip on his fastball there, and
Mm-hmm.
you have to anticipate over the next 3 weeks. Indy still has a mathematical chance to make the playoffs, so he's
For
going to have
sure.
to step up his game a little bit. But it'll be fun to see what he does. But yeah, this was crazy to see. There was one scramble I saw him do, and I just had to laugh. He looked about 80 years old, and just it was hilarious the way he moved and then got hit. I was like,
Have
what
you
is he doing out there? But he's obviously having a fucking blast. So
Have you seen that flag football video where that old man's running with the football and the guys are pretending
Yeah.
to block? Like that's
Yeah.
exactly how that felt.
That's
Just
what that was. Yeah.
I feel like that every time Aaron Rodgers runs the ball too. But
Yeah, pretty much.
you know what though? Like you have to feel for the Colts, like we've kind of
Mhm.
talked about. You went from this high-powered offense, your starting quarterback gets knocked out for the year. You're calling a 44-year-old off the couch to come play for you.
Yeah.
They're saying Anthony Richardson's healthy enough now and probably not even going to play him. So it's one of these things. It's like, okay, what are we doing here? But yeah, you know what? The Seahawks, they're another team that just finds these like gritty ways to win, right? Jason Myers hits 6 field goals, including the decisive kick after Rivers' late turnover. And you have to feel for Rivers, playing a pretty great game. And then he throws the interception late and just ends it. But hey,
That's
pretty cool story though.
a very cool story. And honestly, a lot of us were probably pulling for him. Would have been cool to see. But yeah, that's a stifling Seahawks defense, right? And that's been getting it done for them all year long. They are 11-3, like you said. But the 5 seed in the NFC, it's crazy the way that, they're so much better than seeds 2, 3, and 4 in our minds anyway. You got to figure they're considerably better team this year than Chicago, Philly, and the Bucks.
Right.
But they're stuck in that 5 seed because the Rams.
It's nuts. And the Rams just keep winning too, right? Which we'll talk
Exactly.
about them. Well, why don't we talk about the Lions Rams first?
Sure.
Like I prefaced off the top, tough game, gritty game back and forth, very physical. And yes, the Rams win by a touchdown. Controversial to some. For both teams, there's no shortage of offense. Like Stafford went over 360, two
Yeah.
touchdowns. Goff went over 300 with 3 touchdowns. Like both teams were moving the ball. It was just a matter of who's going to have this ball last and can you get it done. And it just feels like this is how these games against the Rams have gone over these last 3 years.
Honestly, I can
And
tell you this is exactly the game I thought I was going to get when I sat down to watch this one.
oh
100%.
yeah,
I thought this game was going to be like 70 total points and crazy offensive explosion on both sides for sure. And that's exactly what it was. If it wasn't game of the week, Bills Patriots might have been game of the week for me because of the significance of it, but
right,
this one's definitely a close second. Like this was a fucking barn burner.
right. Well, and the Lions are running out of time.
Yeah.
You've
Oh
basically
yeah.
forced yourself to win out the rest of the way here. And you got Pittsburgh, who's playing okay, a little banged up. I wouldn't say they're anything spectacular, but they still have a chance to beat you.
Should be very winnable games down the stretch for you, but at this point, is anything guaranteed
But
for the
is it
Detroit
though?
Lions? Right? Yeah, exactly.
You
Like,
got a first place Steelers team,
yep.
and you got a first place Chicago team to end.
And a frisky Minnesota team that just won this week, right? They beat a
Yeah,
pretty good Dallas offense, so they might be able to shut down yours too. And who knows what they can do on offense, right? So
it's not looking great. I'm not counting this out, but I don't like our chances right now. And it's pretty wild to think that after this couple-year run, where we're sitting right now, and it's frustrating as hell.
the Rams lock up the first playoff spot in the NFC. They are the 1 seed and the only team so far guaranteed a playoff spot. They're 11-3. Lions, buddy, they are the eighth spot right now on the outside looking in. If the playoffs were to start today, 40% chance of making it at 8-6. They got some work to do, and they
We're
need
in,
some help
we're in the hunt,
in the hunt. That's
in
right.
the hunt
Lions, Panthers,
column.
Cowboys in the hunt. Technically, really, it's just the Lions as far as a wild card. Panthers just for their division. So
Sure.
yeah,
Well, one team that I was really counting on to get a victory, just so I could see my good friend here, Brooksee, in a Jamarcus Russell jersey, couldn't get it done. Not only could they not get it done, I don't even know if they showed up to the field.
Philly absolutely dominated this game, buddy, and it's exactly what we needed to see from them. After the way the last 3 weeks have gone, 3-game losing skid. So to come out with a statement win like this, first shutout since 2018, this game was exactly what we needed to see from them. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's the Raiders." Yeah, but this is what good teams do against teams like the Raiders. And if you come out and you do that, you're a good team, and it shows. And there was no weakness showed this game. They controlled time of possession. They had it for almost 40 minutes of the 60. That's like two-thirds of the game. Outgained Vegas almost 400 yards to under 100. I think held Vegas to 75 yards or something. Defense
Gross.
completely stifled them. I think they had 75 yards of total offense. Brandon Graham, the old man who just came back out of retirement, couple of sacks in the first half against the former Eagle Kenny Pickett. So this is all around great game. exactly what the Eagles needed and on the cusp of winning the division.
Question for you.
Yeah,
Do you have to be a good team to beat the Raiders?
you don't have to be, but this is what good teams do against the Raiders, and we fucking showed we're a decent team finally. It's been a bit since we got our mojo back, though, I think, buddy. I think both sides of the ball, mojo's flowing in time for the playoff push.
Well, anytime you can shut out an NFL team, you're doing pretty good, regardless of who they are. And I mean, Kenny Pickett, you're not doing yourself any favors, bud. Like you have an opportunity to run with the starting job here.
Yep.
Prove yourself for next year for any other team that might be looking for a quarterback.
And
And
you
you go
faced
out,
this defense in practice every week last year.
right? Like literally, it's the exact same defense.
Come on, Kenny.
Come on, Kenny.
Come on, Kenny.
Well, I
I'll
guess
take it.
one takeaway for you, yes, the Phillies defense looked suffocating
Oh,
in this one.
gross.
And the offense finally showed a little semblance of being an offense.
Finally, a much needed showing for the Philly offense. And should we just jump in then? Can we jump right into Brooksee's beauties for this week?
Yeah, I guess.
Might as well. Since I'm feeling good, might as well ride that wave into Brooksee's beauties. Honestly, folks, it's the Philly offense this week. Come here, hug it out, Philly offense. Get in here. I love you. Way to show up. There's been so much noise around this Philadelphia offense the last few weeks. Um, Rightfully so after last game with the 4 or 5 turnovers Jalen Hurts had, but just the ineffectiveness on offense and not doing nearly enough, losing games we shouldn't be losing. But this week they showed, I mean, Jalen Hurts was near perfect. I think he only had 3 incompletions. He had a passer rating of like 155, so close to a perfect passer rating. No turnovers, 3 touchdowns. Like after a few weeks of looking like shit, Philly's offense came out. They came out ruthless. They came out efficient, surgical. Jalen Hurts' precision was on point. He didn't force a hero ball downfield. He hit AJ with a beauty down the middle for a nice long touchdown pass. He hit Dallas Goedert for a couple. Just precision and composure. And this is the Jalen Hurts that led this team to the Super Bowl last year. And it really feels like the whole unit maybe started to kind of remember who they are. No panic, no chaos, just precision. Like I said, if this version of the Eagles offense sticks around, buddy, I think that the rest of the NFC just felt a chill that they were hoping wouldn't come back because this is a team that'll scare some teams if they get hot.
That's called winter, bud. Just cold
Brooksee's
outside.
beauties for the week, Phillies offense. There you have it.
I think you need to watch some football. Okay? Some teams other than your own. You got Josh Allen with his fucking comeback. You got Kyle Pitts going nuclear. And yet you want to talk about a team that just destroyed one of the shittiest teams in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
I give Kyle Pitts his props. That's hard to say. Pitts his props.
Pitts his props.
Pitts his props. He
Have
gets
you seen
an
that trend
you
going
nasty
around?
Kyle Pitts for sure. Oh, you nasty. There we go.
That
That's all.
trend that's going around. Say
What's
it
that?
on the beat.
No.
Pitts his props. Pitts props. Pitts props. It's this like thing on TikTok or
Okay.
YouTube going around, but you got to say it on the beat, and they put
fuck.
things that are like
We would
similar.
crush that.
Cat sat Matt, but it's like just repeating it like on the beat, so you got to be quick about it.
Ain't no thing. We would crush that.
Yeah,
But
my
I'm not
brain
about
doesn't
to
work
start.
that fast.
I'm not about. Yeah, I'm not about to start freestyle rapping here just in case I fuck it up.
No, please don't.
Okay.
You are white.
So
But
there's
the reason I bring it up,
Wait,
why you got to brag about beating a shitty ass team?
hear this dumpster fire of your week. What do we got?
Well, let's keep it on theme. Las Vegas Raiders.
Okay. I like that. Tell me why.
And let's just be real about it. They're not unlucky.
No.
They're not close. They're definitely not 1 or 2 pieces away from being a relevant team. This team just flat out stinks. Let's be real. Pete Carroll comes back, legendary coach. You think, okay, they're going to have a great plan, identity, accountability. The vibes are going to be high because this guy's just a fun dude. No. All we're getting, injuries, excuses, a team that looks stuck in the mud. This Raiders logo used to mean something. They were nasty. Their fans were just worse than the Eagles fans, really.
That's true.
Let's be
Actually,
real.
that's what they
Like,
used to be,
you
for sure.
feared going to a game
Oh, yeah.
in Oakland.
Some of those guys look terrifying, those fans.
Right. But let's be real. If you're still blaming injuries or growing pains in the 2025 season after you go out and get Geno Smith, you draft Ashton Genty super high. You've got an emerging Brock Bowers. You've got some other young receivers that are up and in the wings that you drafted fairly high. You still got Max Crosby on the defense. Well, you're kidding yourself. We've seen enough. We are who they thought they were, to quote Dennis Green. But like I said, you go out and you trade for Geno Smith. Somehow managed to unlock a version of him that we haven't seen in probably 15 years out of this guy. He just looks completely cooked. Late throws, bad reads. Feels like he has zero feel for the game. And like every drop back, he looks so indecisive. He's usually getting pounded within seconds.
Yep.
And this isn't really what you expect out of a veteran quarterback, right? Like this dude got paid a ton of money. Had Seattle in the playoffs pretty much every year for the last 3 years, or at least close to.
Unsteady at best, yeah.
Like not even close.
Yeah.
While all that's happening, like I said, you draft Ashton Genty super high, one of the most highly touted running backs coming out of college, explosive dude, and you don't even use him. Or when you do, you're running him straight up the middle.
Yeah.
Like this kid's not meant to run up the middle. What are you doing?
Wasting a year on those knees.
Right? Get him out and let him take a pass. Let him run outside. No, you're running him straight up the gap. When your O-line is terrible as hell, can't stop anything, can't create any gaps. Man. Then there's Max Crosby. This poor dude. Like he is the definition of a dog.
Yeah.
Doesn't quit, banged up. His team is disgustingly bad for all the years that he's been there.
He deserves so much better.
And not once does he complain. States that he wants to stay there. He can wreck numerous games by himself, but he gets absolutely zero help.
Yeah.
So let's just say this. The 2025 Raiders, let's just say the 2020 Raiders in general, even mid-teen Raiders, are just mirrored by bad quarterback play, wasting elite talent, no identity, same collapse, different week. I think that they just continuously find new ways to lose, which is actually pretty impressive. But they're not building towards anything. They're not dangerous. They're not feared like they used to be, and they're definitely not relevant. So that, my friends, is the dumpster fire. Just like the city they represent, the fire is burning bright in Vegas. Oof.
Oof. You cooked, Las Vegas Raiders. So there we go. Calvo's dumpster fire of the week is a freshman, the Las Vegas Raiders, and they deserve it, honestly. Get shut out en route to going to what are they, 2-12 now? So
who cares?
Who even cares? Exactly. Too few wins and too many losses. So
you know what we should care about though?
What's that?
The week 16 matches
that are
coming up. Dude, like this might be one of the craziest slates of football.
The witching hour of the season.
In 3 years. Like it's insane.
Almost every matchup means something at this point.
Right?
It makes football so much more fun to watch in December. I love it.
But I think we've narrowed it down to like 6, maybe 7 games that are all highly impactful games.
Oh, yeah.
Except for maybe one. Why don't you start with that one?
Well, I know you won't say so, but I just have to say this. The Eagles are in Washington to play the Commanders this weekend. They can go to 10-5 and officially lock up the NFC East with a win, which would give them their second consecutive NFC East title, which, who'd have thought back in 2004 after the Eagles won their 4th straight division title that it wouldn't happen, that no one would win the NFC East more than twice in a row again till now. And so it's pretty crazy. It's been over 20 years. Eagles are looking like they're going to win the NFC East 2025. So fuck yeah.
It is pretty impressive, actually. It's hard to do these days.
Yeah.
And
that's some pretty good parity in the division, man.
It's more impressive how badly the Commanders fell off this year. Now, I know Jane Daniels was hurt a lot.
Yeah.
But man, like even when he was in there, they didn't look like anywhere close to the team that made it to the NFC Championship last year.
No, exactly. No one was scared of the Commanders this year at all. I'm not really sure what they were riding so high and got to 12 wins on last year, but they got a lot of work to do in this offseason to get back to what they were.
Absolutely.
But hell yeah, Eagles, repeat NFC East champs. Let's go. What do you got next?
Well, let's talk about Lions Steelers because
Okay.
I think it's a huge game for both teams. Steelers need to keep pace in that division, and the Lions have to win this game to have any shot at the
Fighting
playoffs
for the
whatsoever.
playoff lives right now. Yeah.
Literally fighting for their lives. And while we talked about how great the Commanders were last year, the Lions were fantastic last year. Things aren't lining up quite the same this year, and there's been some growing pains, and I think it's going to make it better in the future. But if only this team could find a way to stay healthy, it could maybe actually go on a run of some sort. But this doesn't feel like it's in the cards this year. But so if the Lions can just find a way to get a win at home against the Steelers in
Yeah.
that loud ass building.
Yes, sir.
One thing is for sure though. Last couple of years we've owned Aaron Rodgers. Now, the two guys that owned him the most, Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph, probably won't be playing in this game. So the secondary might get picked on a little bit because DK Metcalf is a man amongst boys some days. But I have a feeling our pass rush can get home. It'd be interesting to see if TJ Watt plays in this game. I think I was really hoping to see TJ Watt versus Penei Sewell.
Yeah, TJ Watt obviously had to sit out this past week, had his lung punctured in a dry needling uh, mishap, I guess. So he had to have some emergency surgery to fix his lung there. So hopefully he's healthy enough to play. But yeah, the 8-6 Steelers coming into Detroit, Ford Field to play the 8-6 Lions. You guys are desperate.
One of these teams with the same record is leading their division.
Yeah, and one's not even in the playoff picture. So
So stupid.
it is wild. You got a lot of work to do, but yeah, you have to wonder if it's even in the cards for the Lions at this point because they're still 2 games back of Chicago and basically almost 2 games back of Green Bay. Green Bay has the tie, obviously, but
Right.
man,
Ugh, not looking good.
it should be a good game. It should be a tight game. I can't wait to watch that one.
A little defensive battle, I think.
I'm thinking Lions win. I'm thinking it's going to be. I think it'll be like 25 to 22. It'll be one of those weird ones. Lions will win by 3.
Fair enough. Maybe like 20-17 Lions.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's go.
9-6 and still alive. Looking for it.
I think one of the games I'm looking forward to the most, though, Rams versus Seahawks. Two of like the elite teams in the NFC.
11-3 versus 11-3, and essentially a fight for the division here, right? Like, I mean, obviously it can flip flop in the final 2 games of the season, but I
Right.
mean, this is going to create a tiebreak situation, and who doesn't want to watch this fucking game? These two of the best offenses in the league, two of the best defenses in the league, two of the best all around team, probably the 2 best teams in the league actually right now. If you had to, I mean, a lot of people will claim Denver at 12-2. I think they've had a little bit of a easier path. I want to say
Yeah.
AFC not quite as strong, but
I think
yeah,
I'd put Denver over the Seahawks just because of that defense. But yeah, I think the Rams are definitely the best team in football.
I don't even know if I would say that the Broncos defense is better than the Seahawks.
Well, I didn't ask you what you thought.
Fair enough. You did not. Thought I'd just offer it up, I guess. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. But no, you're right. I mean,
Yeah.
I think you could put them either way,
Yeah.
right? But
And dude, the crazy thing about this is the Seahawks win and they would take over the number 1 seed in the NFC for the first time all year. It feels like they've been like they're probably the second best team in the league and they've been behind the Rams all year. It really feels like they've done it super quietly. Like you haven't seen them in the number 1 seed yet. And
yep.
they probably easily could be. Like it's going to be crazy. They would jump up. The Rams would fall to 5. Seahawks quietly running over the fucking rest of the NFC. So it could be a crazy outcome, especially since it's in Seattle.
I think that those are the teams to be. The ones that aren't getting the attention but still
Yeah,
getting it done.
that's
Right?
it for
Who
sure.
cares? Focus on the Rams by all means. It's going to be a little slippery snake.
Just going to be a slithery little snake. All right, man. Jags Broncos. We've got 10-4 Jags facing off against those 12-2 Broncos. This is going to be crazy. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what I think is going to happen in this game. Defensives will be on display, but then again, like Bo Nix and Trevor Lawrence have looked fucking phenomenal lately. So what are we going to see here?
I'm going to call it right now. Broncos are going to blow them out.
You think the Broncos are going to blow out the Jags by how much? What are we thinking there?
17 points.
Wow. Okay. And I think because the Broncos have the tiebreaker on the Patriots, if the Broncos win, I think that would lock up the number one seed in week 16 for them. So if the Broncos win, they do that. I think the Jaguars get it done. They are freaking hot lately. Trevor Lawrence is probably the best quarterback in the league over the last 5, 6 weeks. I think the Jaguars get it done. I think it's going to be like 21 to 20, probably 21-14. Jacksonville Jaguars, they'll go to 11-4, basically lock up that AFC South. I love those Jags, buddy.
Fair enough.
And you love those Broncos, especially that defense. I can see why. It's a solid defense.
It is. It's great D. Big D, if you will.
Big D. Calvo loves that big D. So we'll move on to another big D. How about those Patriots? Drake May's been getting it done all year long, but the Patriots defense under Mike Vrabel has taken what a fucking step forward this team has taken this year. Obviously, they didn't look amazing against Buffalo, but few defenses look amazing against Buffalo. So I think we'll give them a pass. They're 11
they
and
did
3
for the first half.
True enough. Yeah, and Josh Allen kind of took over the game. That was wild, but yeah, 11 and 3, 2 seed in the AFC. This Patriots team. They got the Ravens. They're going into Baltimore to face that desperate 7-7 Ravens team. I think like every fucking matchup this week, man, we're gonna see fireworks.
I think what makes it interesting is, like you said, the Baltimores are a desperate team right now. You're 7-7. The division's still at play.
Baltimore's.
Pittsburgh has a real shot to lose this game, being underdogs going into Detroit.
Yep.
You got to handle your business. But you're playing a team that's playing some pretty inspired football right now. And yeah, they just took a loss that they're probably embarrassed about against the Bills after leading for 2/3 of that game easily. And what I think is interesting is both teams have good offenses. Both teams have pretty good defenses, at least now for the Ravens. They weren't so hot at the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But this game is basically a coin flip, in my opinion. I don't even care who. I think the Ravens are favored, but I don't even care. Like, I think it's a pick 'em.
I always handle my business. It's important. I'm doing it right now, actually. You gotta stay consistent, right? So
I wonder why your desk was shaking over
it was one of those spasms, right? It's edging half of this episode. So speaking of edging, buddy, these Green Bay Packers and Chicago Bears keep flip-flopping. No one wants to, reach completion for this division, and they're just kind of flip-flopping back and forth. The NFC North. So right now, the Green Bay Packers are in second. Chicago Bears are in first at 10-4.
Mm-hmm.
Green Bay is going into Soldier Field in Chicago this weekend. Holy shit. Another banger of a matchup. Like, it's crazy. The impactful games that we've got this week.
These two teams just played recently. It was
Yeah.
a pretty back and forth game then. It'll be interesting to see how the Green Bay defense responds now that they don't have Micah. How do you fill that role? What's that pass rush going to look like? Obviously, they just lost Christian Watson as well.
Yeah.
He won't be playing. So some of these other guys are going to have to step up. Like, we haven't really seen much of Jaden Reed this year. Even being back from injury, he hasn't really done much yet. So maybe this is his coming out game. Truthfully, like, I don't think Green Bay is going to have enough to get it done against Chicago. They're just playing too well right now. Swift and Mononga are quite the duo right now, which nobody really expected. And then Chicago's defense leading the league in turnovers. So Jordan Love is pretty prone to that. I don't think Green Bay really has a shot in this one, to be honest.
Jordan Love has been playing really well lately, but you're right. He is prone to the turnover. And Caleb Williams has been fucking lights out lately, too. You can talk about Swift and Mononga all you want, but Caleb Williams is protecting the ball. And Chicago is leading the league, entire NFL, in turnover differential right now. So
Right.
Caleb Williams playing really well leading this offense. He looks every bit the first overall pick that Chicago thought that they were getting when they drafted him last year. So I don't know. I still think Green Bay's got some fight, but that's a couple of huge injuries that fucking really affect them down the stretch here. So I really think you're right on this one. I finally agree with you. I think Chicago might get this one done.
I think those two injuries were the knockout blow for the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Certainly gives the Lions a fighting chance at getting in, but
Never know. Never know. But one game that has major implications on who gets in and who doesn't.
again, between two teams fighting for first and second in the same division.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Carolina Panthers. And man, the Panthers, what a story. And you called it at the beginning of the year. I'm having you investigated, like I said. But man, it's kind of crazy. Like I said, over the last half of the season, the Buccaneers are just a completely different team. They've still got all the talent in the world, and they just can't seem to close out these games. They're losing in the last quarters as opposed to earlier in the year when they were winning on those last minute drives.
Yeah.
Everything just looks all out of sorts for the Buccaneers, but you have to think they're going to get up for this one.
Carolina had a golden opportunity to take firm control of that division this past weekend. They had a date with the New Orleans Saints and they blew it. New Orleans beat them. They walked them off with a kick, a last minute kick. Unbelievable. Carolina, you can't lose that game, man. But that's the same that Tampa's been doing all year. Like you can't lose that game, Tampa. So these
Right?
teams both sitting at 7-7. One of them's got to win the division. You thought T-Bay at the start of the year. I thought Carolina. So it's funny to see it playing out this way now with both teams tied for it in the last couple weeks of the season here.
Right?
Carolina, I don't know, man. That offense, they've taken a real step with Bryce lately. I really like the way they look. Obviously, they couldn't shut down New Orleans on defense enough this past week, but Tampa Bay has been blowing games late, like you said. Like they're finding ways to lose, and I think they keep that up against Carolina this weekend. I think Carolina wins. I think Carolina wins probably 30-24.
Sure. Well, why don't we lead this into our next segment then? And we
Wait,
haven't
what do
done
you
this one
think? What do you
for a
think?
while.
Tampa Bay, Carolina.
Hmm. 24-17 Buccaneers.
You think the Bucks win this one in Carolina? Okay, okay. Back on track, eh? Okay.
Yeah. So they've lost too many in a row. They're due.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They are due, but who knows if they can pull it off. They have been shit in the bed. So that's it. Week 17. Sorry, we're not there yet. What am I doing wishing the year away? Week 16 hype matchups. Like every fucking game is important between division leaders. It's crazy. So wildness coming down the stretch.
Right. So every once in a while we do this, and we haven't done it for a while. It's
Hmm.
a little segment that we called Who Would Have Thought? And I think talking
Yeah.
about that matchup just really sparks this. Like, who would have thought after the last couple of years that the Panthers have that they have a shot at first place in their division with only 3 weeks left to play?
I mean,
Well,
obviously me,
clearly
but
you. Not me though.
it's one of those. It's one of those. I want to say ballsy picks that you make at the start of the year that you don't actually think they'll play out, but you really hope they play out just so you can
Right?
look like a genius. I didn't have a ton of hope about that one, but I look good now, don't I?
Hey, it's pretty crazy,
Yeah.
but it's not as crazy as the Chiefs getting eliminated from the playoffs for the first time
Woo!
in 10 years after 9 division championships.
Nine
Who
straight.
would
Who
have
would have
thought?
thought?
And like with 3 weeks left to play.
Crazy. It's crazy. I love to see it. I'm happy. The Chiefs dynasty is over. I'm just so glad to not have to see them in the playoffs for 1 year at least, finally. So it's nice. Buddy, who would have thought old man Rivers, Philip Rivers, the 89-year-old former quarterback, now current quarterback, he's only 44, but it feels like the way you see him move out there, holy shit. But he is back in the NFL after playing his last game, I think, in the playoffs in January 2021. So basically 5 years out of the league.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? Who would have thought that it's week 16 and the Broncos, Bears, and Pats are three of the best teams in the league? Pardon
After
me?
after last year and the way that like the last half decade has gone, no one would have thought.
Right?
It's
Oh my
craziness.
goodness.
Broncos, Bears, and Pats, the three of the best teams in the league. Craziness.
Those three teams are going to get in. And who would have thought? We'd be
Yeah.
talking about the Lions missing the playoffs after basically having the same record as some of these division leaders right now. Ugh.
It's
pains
got to
my
be so
heart.
sickening to go to from 15-2, being the number one seed, having that first round bye in the playoffs last year, the heartbreaking loss in the divisional round to the underdog Commanders, and then this year just been a fucking slog, like just a struggle.
Right?
Ugh.
Gross. Brad Holmes, get off your wallet, man. Spend those picks and upgrade this team. Let's go.
Who would have thought the Cincinnati Bengals, would get shut out with Joe Burrow back healthy at quarterback?
You have one good facet of your team, and you can't even do that right.
Couldn't even do that right this week. And
After hanging like 30 plus on them a couple weeks ago.
the Ravens don't even have an amazing defense. Like, what the fuck happened? And you're at home. Wildness. And especially since they were my fucking dog of the week. I was so sure that they'd win this game at home. Ah, man. So my dog's record goes to 11-4, buddy. Let's hop into our locks and dogs.
Let's do it.
It still looks good. My dog's record, 11-4. But 12-3 would have looked a hell of a lot nicer. Those
Can't
fucking
have it both
Bengals.
ways, buddy.
And not even close either. Just get the doors blown off of them. So I think this year they've been working for me this year. I'm gonna go back to them. I'm going back to the well. The Jacksonville Jaguars go into Denver and beat the Broncos. The Jaguars are my dog this week.
Crazy.
You?
The Broncos were my pick last week. Moved my pitiful record to 5-10.
Hey, there you go. Trying to make it respectable before the end.
I'm just happy I went 2-0 after going 0-2 the
Yeah,
week before. Makes me feel a little bit better.
yeah, for sure.
As I mentioned when we were going through these hype matchups, I feel like it's a pick game. I'm taking the Patriots over the Ravens.
Wow. Okay.
Drake, Big D, May.
It's actually wild to me that the Patriots are underdogs in this one. I really thought that they'd be the favorites, but hey man, the Ravens are favored at home right now, so might as well take them. It's a solid pick. Looking to improve your dogs record to 6-10 next week, taking the Pats. So I got to know who's your lock because you took the 49ers last week. It was a pretty much a fucking layup against the Titans. So your locks are 12-3, same as mine.
Yep.
Who are you going with this week?
I think I'm going to take the Bills over the Browns. And I'm looking
Okay.
at 13-3, baby. Lucky number
Bills
13,
over the
Matt
Browns.
Sundin.
The way both teams are playing right now, it seems like a virtual lock as well. It's a solid pick, my man. I I'm gonna go back to the well. Eagles got it done for me in convincing fashion last week. I think they're hot again. So I'm gonna go with the Eagles this week. I think the Eagles go into Washington and beat the Commanders, so they are my lock. Looking to go to 13-3.
Nice. Well, Bravonians, let us know who your locks and dogs of the week are. Drop some comments on the video if you like the content.
Hell
Please
yeah.
hit like, share, and subscribe. If you're like us, you're super excited for week 16 and what else is to come for the rest of the year.
Best time of the year.
But as always, we will see you next week to help celebrate Christmas, the new year, and week 16 that was, and week 17 coming up. So for Brooksee, I'm Calvo. We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week. This has been the NFLA, and we'll talk to you one more time before Christmas. Peace out.